Hello everyone! I am Aces Played, Ace for short. I know this isn't my typical video style whatsoever, since I usually just upload Muse Dash gameplay or Heaven Studio charts. But regardless, I've gotten my grimy little hands on Adobe products thanks to my trade school, so I wanted to put them to good use. In this video, I'll be reviewing different rhythm games I've played throughout my life. I'll rate them based on music, art style, charts, and modding. And anything else I might think up while I talk about it. I'll try to put these in order from the first ones I've played all the way up to my most recently played. Keep in mind that these aren't all of the games that I've played in total, just the main ones that have influenced me. So without further ado, let's go! Geometry Dash is a side-scrolling music platforming game series developed by Robert Topala, otherwise known as RobTop. The game was released on August 13th, 2013 on iOS and Android, and the Windows and macOS versions on December 22nd, 2014. The music in Geometry Dash comes from a variety of different artists, the most notable being Waterflame, DJ VI, and DJ Nate. All of the songs are pretty simple when it comes to sound, but they definitely stick with you for years to come. Now, Geometry Dash doesn't necessarily have an art style, I guess, but it's notable for that silly little cube guy you play as. I like that guy. As for the charts, I think they aren't bad at all, but for me personally, all of them are too easy or too hard. I haven't played the game in a while, but I feel like once you reach a certain point, the difficulty spike curves up just a bit too much and it's quite frustrating to learn. Now for the modding scene. I'm pretty sure this wouldn't necessarily be modding, I guess, since there's an official section dedicated to fan charts or maps or whatever they're called. The fan maps that people make are actually really cool, and I quite like them. A lot of them tend to be very difficult, but some of them are quite beginner friendly and still have very nice visuals. I think I would give this game a 7 out of 10. Perfect for its time, but I feel like it's seriously died out over the years. That might not be the game's fault, or it is. I don't know. Friday Night Funkin' is a rhythm video game that released on Newgrounds on November 1st, 2020. The game is developed by a small group called the Funkin Crew Incorporated, which consists primarily of Cameron Ninja Muffin 99 Taylor, David Phantom Arcade Brown, Isaac Kawaii Sprite Garcia, and Evil Skater. It shares some gameplay features with Dance Dance Revolution, Parappa the Rapper, and the one dance contest minigame from Club Penguin. It also borrows aesthetic influences from Flash games. The game has been credited with driving users back to Newgrounds, a site that rose in popularity in the early 2000s. They're also credited for crashing the site every time an update on the game dropped. This game's art style is actually really amazing and quite nostalgic to me. I've been on the internet for a long time, and when I first played this game, it threw me right back. The visuals are all just so reminding of the early 2000s and 2010s internet. Phantom Arcade does an amazing job with the art and visuals in this game. It's very charming. As of today, the charts are all updated and are really improved from their original versions. And as of recording, the current game version is version 0.4.1. Moving on to the modding, and holy shit, this game has a huge modding scene, and I believe wholeheartedly that the modding scene absolutely carried this game's popularity. The only reason that there were so many FNF mods in the first place was because the game is actually open source, which makes it very easy to see how it was coded and makes it very easy to put in your own stuff. As of today, there are so many impressive mods out there, a few of my favorites being Mario's Madness, Hypno's Lullaby V2, and Step Right Up Adventure Isle. There's a few more I really enjoy, but I haven't played in a while, so my memory's really foggy. I would give this game an 8.5 out of 10 currently, since there's still a few things they need to add and patch up, but I guarantee I'll like this game even more when the full thing comes out. No Straight Roads is a 2020 action-adventure rhythm game developed by Malaysian independent studio Metronomic and published by Sold Out Ltd. The focus is on an indie rock duo who battle an EDM empire to free Vinyl City from their control with the power of rock. And oh my god, they absolutely kill it with the soundtrack! I've played through this game at least 6 times and I still haven't heard a song I don't like. My personal favorite boss track is versus Sayu. And the art style? Oh my goodness, don't get me started. I will gush to anyone about just how much I love the art in this game if I get the chance. The 3D models, the 2D art, even the album covers look amazing. There's so much expression and detail and color in every character, and I adore it. Before the release of the game, tons of fans were making fan art in anticipation of the release, and creators actually put them in as graffiti around the whole map. If you walk up to them, Mayday will take a picture, and you can actually use it as your guitar case in the bottom left. But all of that's not to say the 3D models don't have their flaws, though. You see, Metronomic took a certain approach when it came to cutscenes in NSR. Instead of playing pre-recorded videos, they actually load and play everything in real time, which other games and studios do as well. But due to the distinct style, or however the models were made, things like Mayday's braids will fly around a bit when switching from scene to scene or making sudden jumps or movements. It's a very small hiccup, so I don't really mind it. It actually makes me giggle sometimes. Her hair has a mind of its own. Another small graphical issue is, sometimes, textures don't load until a few seconds into cutscenes or just in general scene switches. This might just be a me thing though, but I've seen it in other people's runs as well. The charts in this game are the enemy's attacks. They follow the beat of the song, and it's really cool. I find it so satisfying to get past a beat drop because of that. The modding scene is pretty small as far as I'm aware, but I think all the existing mods are just skins of Mayday and Zook. I'd give this game a 9 out of 10. I hold this game in pretty high regard since you can tell a lot of love went into it. I also like all of the silly references they have in there, like JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. A Dance of Fire and Ice, or ADOFAI, is a simple one-button rhythm game developed by 7th Beat Games, a game company based in Malaysia. It is a game made as part of Ludum Dare 30, a contest to create a game within 48 hours. You play as 2 orbs known as planets, pressing on beats of the music on the title track. One orbit is stationary while the other orbits. You're supposed to hit your key as the moving planet passes over the next tile. The game seems deceptively simple, but once you get far enough in, it really hits you. The game can be frustrating to learn, but it's really satisfying to play once you get to learn it. Now for music. The music in this game is usually pretty simple, coming from artists such as Hafiz Asman, Yu, Cadence Hira, and Ria. This game's art style is also pretty cute. It's very simple, but still charming. I like the little pigs from World 2. As for the charts/maps, I think they're pretty solid. They ease you into more difficult patterns from Worlds 1 to 12, and it's great. It helps me learn how to play some of the funky patterns that might show up. Now the modding. Oh my god, the modding scene in this game is huge! All of the mods in this game are actually fan charts or maps, and the game actually has an entire section dedicated to the mods you download, and even features the best ones that they find each month. I found tons of cool levels through here, such as Black and White by Starforth, Make It Funky Now by Pizza Lovers 007, and Kaleidoscope by... don't know how to pronounce that, and I couldn't find any translating software that could help me. Sorry! There's many more out there, and a ton more to come. I would give this game an 8 out of 10. I feel like the game can be too difficult at times, and it's pretty frustrating to try and push through, but once you do, it feels really, really good.
Welcome to us. Click the circles. To the beat.
Osu, or Os, is a free-to-play rhythm game originally created and self-published by Australian developer Dean Herbert. Inspired by the gameplay of the Osu Tatake Oendan series, it was released for Microsoft Windows on September 16, 2007, with later ports to macOS, Linux, Android, and iOS. I'm actually not too familiar with this game since I've barely played, so I have a guest to help me out. Say hi, Zion!
Hey, thanks for having me on, Ace. I'm Zion, and I like Osu a bit too much.
I haven't heard any of the bass songs in Osu, if there even are any, so I can't really judge those. But the mod chart songs I download are pretty cool. There's tons of different ones you can get. What do you think, Zion?
There aren't any bass songs in Osu aside from the tutorial map called New Beginnings. I have a lot to say about the mod community in Osu, if that's okay.
Yeah, I think I'll let Zion talk about the rest of this, since I don't really know much. Go ahead!
Alright, so this game's mod community is really big. There is a beat map, which just means a chart for every song you can think of, even the obscure ones. Try it out! Go on Google and type your favorite song with Osu in the beginning of the search, and I guarantee you that a beat map will come up for that song. Seriously! Some charts are way more fun compared to others, since they are made by the community, and some maps are actually accepted by the creator of the game, Peppy.
Thanks! My rating from what I've played is about 6.5 out of 10. I think the difficulty is just too high for me, and sometimes inputs are kind of weird. It's also really hard to get into as a beginner because it kind of feels like all the pressure's on you from the community. Overall though, it seems like a fun and good game if you put enough time into it. What would you rate it?
Thanks for asking. In my opinion, Osu has a really hard learning curve, but once you learn how to get over it, the game can be extremely fun. It feels very satisfying to get good at this game too. I really like this game and it's by far my favorite rhythm game so far. It's a solid 8 out of 10 for me, as the game still isn't perfect in some aspects. That's all for me. You can move on to the next game, Ace.
Thank you! Muse Dash is a rhythm game developed by Pero Games based in China and published by Hasu Hasu and XD Network in Japan. It was initially released for iOS and Android in June 2018, later being released on Nintendo Switch, Windows, and macOS in June 2019. The music in this game comes from lots of different artists, so many that I can't even name them. There are a few songs I don't like, but there's a lot more I do like. There's quite a few different kinds of music, so almost anyone could find a few songs they like to play. I personally like Marinol, Rush Hour, Sand Maze, and on. As for the art style, I absolutely adore it! It's the main reason I even got into the game in the first place. Everything is so vivid, expressive, and colorful.
Let's not mention the Gooner art, though.
They also hold art contests for fans of the game for a chance of their art being featured as a loading screen. I'm pretty sure they also provide other prizes, but I'm not sure, I haven't really looked into it. The charts in this game are so fun for me to play, and I always enjoy trying new songs. Sometimes though, the songs can be way more difficult than the rating may lead you to believe. But all of the more difficult charts, typically 8 to 11 or so, have super fun patterns that I love playing. And now, modding. This game has a somewhat large modding scene, I believe, with all of those being custom charts and songs. I actually modded my Muse Dash a while back, but ended up not really using it. If you are interested in custom charts though, check the description for a link to the Muse Dash modding community page. My overall rating of this game is a 9 out of 10. My only real gripes being some weird and funky charts and questionable art. And that's it! Sorry if this video seems janky at all, it's my first time using Adobe Premiere Pro, and I'm definitely not great at it. Remember, these are all based on my personal experience with each game, so please don't get upset with me. Make sure to like and subscribe, and leave some video ideas in the comments for me. And with that, bye-bye! Ooh, and YouTube thinks that you'll like this video over here on the right. You should click it!